All right, we are live on both Instagram and YouTube. Here's a mess, you guys. What's up, you guys? Welcome. Welcome back to our daily live feed. As always, if you would like to come work with me, suitsandposing.com is where we have to go. We do hair, makeup, suits and posing, all the fun stuff when it comes to competing for women. Welcome, you guys. My voice is getting slightly better, but I will likely still cough quite a bit during this, so just bear with me. I got my hot coffee right here to hopefully numb my throat a little. I don't even know. I don't feel like I sound much better. I sound a little bit better, but thank you. I still I hear it all right in here for me, and I can feel it like in the back of my throat. So I was talking to some other people that were at the show this weekend at Gladiator, and they all kind of got this going on. So I don't know. Maybe it was something in the hotel. I don't really know. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's try. Yes, so we've got a preview for this weekend. It is the Klash Championship Series, which is always a pretty decent show, meaning like size-wise, numbers-wise, quality-wise, it tends to be very good. Prize money is very good at this show. The girls that come out of this show as winners tend to do very well throughout the year and at the Olympia. So this tends to be a pretty good show to be paying attention to if you're getting into the pro circuit, or if you are planning on competing this year, that kind of thing on the pro circuit. This is a show to watch. I will be there in person. Several of my posing clients that I will be seeing on Friday, as well as some new ones. If you are going to be in the Orlando area and would like to meet up with me, feel free. Shoot me a DM. Joe does put on an amazing show. Yes, absolutely. And this is one of our tried and true venues over the last 2 years with our State of Our World today. Orlando has been very good to us. We have definitely had several shows at the Hyatt Regency in Orlando. They definitely know me by first name because the first year where shows were coming back, I was there every single month. Every single month I was there. So I'm very familiar with this particular venue. So, so as we're getting into it tonight, we're going to preview this. I'm going to give you my basic top 5-ish of people. But here's the thing, you guys. As we're going into this show, we don't have a lot of girls on this list that are like perennial, like rock stars in this pro circuit. I'm pulling it up right now. I just got out of my thing. There it is. There we go. Hold on. A little pro list. There we go. Oh, that's why. Let me do this. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay. So we have 20 girls on this list. And for a second, I was like, oh, did they put one girl on there twice? But no, it actually is 2 separate girls. That Vanessa Guzman is 2 separate girls. I went and looked both of them up. They are 2 different people. So that's kind of crazy when you got 2 people with basically the same exact name. They're just from different areas in the show. I'm excited to see Rachel Vermont represent. Yes. She's one of them I have on my list as a potential could come up kind of thing. I've got a few of those. And then I've got a potential top 4, actually. So some of these girls, they are pro debuts. So what that means is we just have never seen them on the pro stage before. They could come out and just completely rock this. Don't know. We don't, because we've never seen them compared on the stage before. So pro debuts are great because we could end up getting a new superstar out, like just automatically a new superstar. We have a few girls that will be making pro debuts, like a few girls that won their pro cards at nationals. There's a girl here that won her pro card at the Olympia Amateur, I believe. So there's a handful of girls here that we just don't know what they're going to look like when they get onto the pro circuit, and they could very well come out and just blow everybody away. So there's always that possibility. But first, as we go down the list and we start looking at these names, so Jessica Dolius is the first name on that list that we're going to pay attention to. The last show that she did was it Legends? I can't remember. It was like, I don't know, it was a month ago. Is that Legends? I don't even know. I'm like blanking right now. But she is a top fiver, that kind of thing. She had, it was Boston. It was Boston. That's what it was. She is one of those ones that that you're going to see in either the first call out or middle of the second call out, that kind of thing. She's going to be up in there somewhere. Her tan was a little bit light at Boston, so that was something that kind of brought her down a little bit. Overall, I thought she had a great package. It's just she didn't quite hit the mark on that aspect of it. It still didn't look bad. It's still pretty good. So I assume when she comes into this show, she'll be taking her feedback from that show and applying it, including doing a bit of a darker tan. I do think that hurt her in Boston. So I do expect to see her probably in the first call out here at this show. Could actually be fighting for a win here. She has had those top 2 placings before, that kind of thing. So this could very well be somewhere where she could kind of break out here, right? Next one on that list to pay attention to is Lana Dunbar. So Lana just won her pro card in November at the Van Weeder. She won the overall there, so that got her pro card. She came right out and did her pro debut in Texas, and she ended placing top 5 in Texas. So that was back in December, I believe. So I think she was 5th there. So that means going into this show, she's coming off of a top 5 placing. Could very well come in with a little bit of improvement and do better. She has a great look. This is something I mentioned about her. She's a very beautiful girl, like face-wise, look-wise. She has a really pretty look. Just need to kind of fill out her glutes a little bit. If she did that in the last few months, that could bode very, very well for her here. I'm going to right now put her in my top call out. She hasn't really been tested yet in this pro league. So I'll be interested to see where she ends up at this particular show. But coming from a top 5 placing, I'll put her up in that top call out here. Right after her, we got Alessia on that list again. So Alessia just competed in the Caribbean. Before that, she competed in Boston. Before that, she competed in the Arnold. So she's been going already. She's been going. So I know what happens for a lot of girls when they come into the beginning of the season. They want to try and hit a bunch of early shows and qualify for the Olympia outright as quickly as they can. That can work, or it can make for a very long season. So I actually think that Alessia, I don't know which look was best on her yet this year. I felt like she was holding a little bit of water at her waistline at the Caribbean show, but I also think she was a little bit hard in Boston. So it's 6 in one hand, half in the other. I don't know which one was better, in my opinion. If she could kind of find a happy medium between the two, I think that would be good. She did well at the Arnold. She took 6th at the Arnold. So if she could bring kind of a look like she did at the Arnold, I think that could be probably a really good look for her. She has a hard time with being either too soft, like through the midsection, lower abs, that kind of thing, or too hard, too lean. So it's just finding that middle ground for her. I do expect to see her in the top call out here. And we'll just see. We'll see if she's able to bring a better package this week than she did this past week. I know she'd probably like to get a win out as quickly as possible again, so she can qualify and get off stage. That is always the goal. In the process, though, she's picking up some Olympia points, so there's that. Sorry, like I said, my voice is better, but not 100% yet. Then as we go down the list, Alessia, I don't believe is qualified already. No. She has not won a show, I don't believe, this season. Could be wrong on that. I will verify that right now. Let me see. Let me pull up the standings. Don't think she's won a show yet this season, but I'm going to verify that right now. Hang on. Oh, no, she is. She's qualified. So she must have already won a show. She must have won a show this fall. I think what she won. I don't remember which show she won. She is qualified though. I can't remember what show she won. She must have won something this past fall. So yeah, so I guess I guess she just likes competing. So there's that. Then as we move down, we're gonna get to Ashlyn. So Ashlyn just competed in the Caribbean as well. That was her first show this season. Took second. Needs to come in a little bit tighter at this show. From what she posted today, she said she did hit a new prep low, which she needed to do. You bring that lower half in a little bit more, a little tighter on those glutes, the hamstring tie-ins. Even from the front, need to be a little bit tighter than the lower half. Upper half is good. Lower half needs to be a little bit tighter. So if she just hit a new prep low, that says that she's doing that. So for her, she's a tiny girl as it is. So a couple of pounds on her can make a big difference. So I could see her very well fighting for a win here. She also fought for the win here last year. She did not make it, but she took second to Lauren Dannemiller last year. And then Ashley Kaltwasser took third. To be honest with you, I'm kind of surprised Ashley's not doing this show. I thought maybe she would do it as kind of a redemption show. I believe this was one of her worst packages in her own words from last year. Her presentation was really off. I was there in person, and she was really off, like as far as presentation was concerned. So I kind of expected her to maybe jump into the show as like a redemption moment. I kind of thought that was going to happen, but she's doing Golden State, I think, next week. So unless you went Atlantic Coast, okay. I don't remember that. She's done so many shows. I can't remember what shows she won. Everybody went and looked it up. Everybody went and looked up which show she won. Okay, got it. All right. So she is qualified. So she actually could get off stage if she wanted to. So I thought she was fighting for a win right now. Anyway, so go back to Ashlyn. I could see her potentially fighting for a win here, just like she did last week in the Caribbean. I could see her in the top two at this particular show. Then after her, we have Lucia. Lucia is kind of all over the place when it comes to her look. Sometimes she looks phenomenal, and then other times she's really off. So she was top 10 at the Olympia, had a great look at the Olympia, fantastic presentation, and then she kind of had some issues with her lower half getting tight enough. She competed a couple times after that, a couple times before that, and the issue was always her getting her lower half in shape. She changes her look a lot, which, as you guys know, I'm not a huge fan of that. I think once you find a look that works for you, stick with it. Stick with the same suit, stick with the same hair, stick with the same everything, and try to improve your physique. If your overall look, like all of that stuff, your presentation is winning and is doing well, then don't screw with it, right? She's one that every time she comes on stage, she's in something different. I don't necessarily think that works for her. If she comes into this show with her lower half tighter, then I think she has a very good chance of being in the top 3, top 2, even potentially winning this show. But that has been her issue the last few shows as far as bringing her lower half in tight enough. She is with a new coach now, so maybe that will be changing. Maybe that'll be fixed. I'm sure it's probably frustrating for her to have such inconsistent looks. I would like to see her just get one consistent look and just bring that every time so she knows she's going to place well. Because this is a girl who has, again, top 10 at the Olympia, all of that, but then will drop into the second call out some shows because she can't get her lower half in shape. So I'm curious to see what she looks like here because I don't think she's been on stage since the Olympia. Maybe she did a fall show. No, she did a fall show. Man, I'm forgetting all these fall shows, guys. But Bottom line is we haven't seen her in a few months at least. So I'll be interested to see what she looks like. And she's under new coaching guidance, all of that. So let's see what she looks like at this show. Then as we go down the line a little bit more, Rachel was mentioned here too. The last time Rachel was on stage actually was over a year ago, and that was Chicago, and she did place 6th there. She's one that's been a little bit inconsistent with placings as well. That was, I think, her best placing. She's been off stage for a while, so I'll be interested to see what she brings this time. Usually when girls are off stage for a good year or more, their physique, their look has changed a lot. So let's see what she does here at this show. Another one to be looking out for that was 7th, I believe, her last show is Marianne Parks. Marianne has been slowly creeping up the scale when it comes to these shows. Seems like every show she's in, she gets a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. So if she placed 7th her last show that she was out, she could potentially be a top 5er here. She would be one to be looking at as well. Overall, I think it's just going to be a matter of who comes in best between probably Jessica, Ashlyn, Alessia, and Lucia. Those are going to be your top 4, in my opinion. And it's going to be a matter of, again, who comes in best that day. If I had to pick somebody right off the top of my head, I would say Ashlyn. But I mean, honestly, I could see any one of these girls getting in that top spot. I think the top 3 is going to be between Jessica, Alessia, and Ashlyn. That's my top 3, and then Lucia in that 4th place position. But again, Lucia is under new coaching. She's been off stage for a little bit. She could come out and surprise everybody, and she could very well take this whole show. So, if I was a betting woman, I'm going to bet on Ashlyn. That's what I'm going to bet on. She did just beat Alessia last week, so pretty forcefully, I believe she beat Alessia. So I will put Ashlyn in that top spot. And then I'll put Alessia in 2nd, and I'll put Jessica in 3rd, and that's mainly because Alessia beat Jessica in Boston. And then we'll put Lucia in 4th. That's what we'll do. So that's going to be my 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's going to be my top 4 right there. And then that 5th place spot is really up for grabs between many of these girls I just mentioned. And anyone that has to come out and just kills it, or pro debut and just kills it, that could always be somebody that comes in and takes the whole thing. You just never know. Anything else that you guys see that I'm missing on this list? Comments. Tell me. We got both our YouTube and our Instagram going up right now, live. So I have decided that I'm going to start a new series, but I just don't know what I'm going to call it. So these are going to continue to be our BSPNs and continue to be our lives, how we do this going forward. And I'm going to create a new series that includes some of the footage from shows, not just the show itself, but backstage, working with clients, doing posing, doing hair and makeup, and then my own prep journey as well, and how I balance all that together. I've been thinking about doing this for a while, and I have a ton of show footage, but I just feel like there's a lot of people that already cover either the show footage or they cover their own prep footage, and there's nothing that really merges the two. I'm one of the few in this industry that works in this industry and compete, and is gonna be competing and competes as well. So I feel like combining all of that together could be interesting. We'll see. See if you guys like it. I'm gonna do my best. So I agree. Ashton should win, barring anyone coming in crazy and amazing. I agree. Best NPC shows for Masters. Yes, Coach's Vlog is my favorite. Yours will be on another level. Well, let's see you in the FBF family. Yes, there'll be a lot of us there. And that's how I whenever I look at something, as far as creating a new product or a new service or something like that, I want to take an angle that has not already been taken. Meaning I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. You can get that information from other people. I want to cover it from a different kind of perspective, right? Give you a different kind of viewpoint. Just like we do this stuff. Nobody else does this like we do this, right? So it's just a different way of doing it. I like to do things that are just a little bit different. And like I said, I'm probably one of the only ones in this industry that does what I do anyway, just as a profession, period, just as a profession. And then I'm going to be combining that with competing as well, which I haven't done in 4 years. So this will be my first time actually getting on stage in 4 years. So I feel like it could be really interesting. We'll see. An awesome idea. Thank you. I hope so. I hope it comes off okay. And I'm gonna do my best to do like weekly videos, that kind of thing. And I'll probably do a lot of just talking at the camera, kind of like what we're doing right now, but just in an edited version of it, and kind of give you my thoughts and feelings and how things are going and all of that, because I do plan on having a strategic season myself. So that strategy will change as we move along. And I have to also marry that with what I do for my work too. You know, my business can't suffer just because I want to get on stage and compete, right? So yeah, I think it'll be an interesting way of covering it. Maybe you'll see it from a different perspective, a different viewpoint, and maybe it'll give you a little bit of an insight into what I do as well, you know, as far as my business and things like that's concerned, because I don't do a whole lot of the, you know, behind the scenes stuff for what I do. So hopefully it'll be interesting. We'll see. I'll probably get better as I go along, just like everything else. It just gets better as you feel it out, that kind of thing. So we're going to start it out with footage from this coming weekend. I'm going to start it out with the Klash series this weekend, and just kind of what goes on there and what I go through and what the girls go through and all of that. So lots of that Shawn content. I love it. Yeah. I gotta keep you guys entertained, right? That's my job. So, but this will be a fun show. It'll be a fun show to start this with. Excited for this. Thank you. I'm excited for it too. It'll be more work, but that's okay. That's what I do. I work a lot. That's what I do, and I love doing it. I love my work, so I can't really complain about it, right? Yes, stay in the life of a cutie queen, right? Yes. All right. So yeah, so it'll be fun. And I'll learn as I go along as well. So you guys will have to give me input as well as far as how, what you guys like and everything too. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're getting, turn on those notifications. There you go. We're getting close to that 1,000 subscriber mark. We're almost there. Please get out there and share it and get your friends on it and all that. And, hopefully the content that we put out will keep you guys there, keep you guys happy. So with that, like I said, this particular show, I'm putting Ashlyn in the winner's circle, and we'll see where it goes from there. If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life, right? See, and that's an old saying. And I'll say this, I tell people all the time, I definitely work. Definitely work hard, but I love it. You know, I like to say that it's more about the journey than it is about the destination. And the work that you put into what you do every day is what makes it worth it. I actually kind of posted about this earlier on my personal page. There was this kid that won valedictorian at his high school, was talking about how he worked so hard for a year to win that particular position as valedictorian. And he said it felt amazing for about 15 seconds. And then he realized how much the rest of his relationships throughout that year had suffered because he worked so hard for that goal. So there's some real truth in that. You know, I can use myself as an example. You know, I just bought my first house ever. It's amazing. It's a fantastic house. We have a ton of work yet to do with it. And it was an amazing accomplishment for myself. And people ask me all the time, don't you feel so accomplished? And I'm like, I did for about 5 seconds when I signed off on the deed, you know? I'm like, but now it's just another thing that I did, you know? And now I've got to work at something else in order to pay for it. You know what I mean? Like that accomplishment is great. I'm not downplaying that by any stretch of the imagination. But it's the work that I did to build myself and build my business that made that purchase worth it, not the actual purchase itself, if that makes sense. So me doing this little side venture here where I'm vlogging and things like that and showing you what's going on behind the scenes is what's going to make me competing actually worth it, right? It's what's going to make the whole thing worth it. It's the journey going to it. So I don't expect my life to change by any stretch of the imagination when I get on that pro stage again for the first time in 4 years. But my life has changed in the process of getting there. My life has absolutely changed in the process of getting there. And it will continue to as I continue to grow and get better and all of that. Relatable. Yeah, right, Devin? Relatable. Absolutely. Absolutely. So it's not the actual achievement. It's the journey that you take in order to get to that achievement that makes it so worth it. And you got to keep it in perspective and all those kinds of things too, right? Can't wait to see you and Devin live tomorrow. Yes. Oh, that's something I should mention too. So Devin is going to get on live with me tomorrow. Same time, same place, right here. She's going to come on live on Instagram. I will have it live on YouTube as well, so you'll be able to hear her. And we're going to talk about wellness and the good things, the bad things, all of the criteria changes, things like that that's been going on in the last year, really. Some things to be paying attention to. These are therapy sessions in disguise. They're therapy sessions in disguise. Absolutely. I tell that to people all the time that work with me as a posing coach. I did start my master's in psychology. So just so you guys know, I never actually finished it, but I did start my psychology, my master's in psychology. So I actually have some schooling behind me in this whole process of therapy. So I'm not actually a professional psychologist or anything like that, but I do have some of that underneath my training, my education. So that tends to happen quite a bit when I'm in sessions. We turn it into a therapy session quite often. It does happen quite often. So anyway, back to the topic at hand. I will be getting into Orlando on Friday. So if any of you are in the area or going to the show and want to actually meet with me for posing, I do have room for like 2 more people on Friday to meet up for posing. So go ahead and hit me up for that. It'll be there all weekend, leave on Sunday. So if you see me, say hi. As always, come say hi. And we've got something special coming out too for this weekend. So we pay attention for that. But we will be on live tomorrow with Devin too. More times our sessions are all therapy versus posing. Yeah, they are, Karen. That's true. It's very true. Very true. Anything anybody else wanted to add? Any questions? Any thoughts? Leave it open for another minute or 2 here for you guys. Hey, my voice did a lot better. I only coughed like twice this time. I'm proud of myself. It's getting better. Oh man. Tell you what, so hard. I hate not having a voice, and I feel totally fine. I have no problem like with my actual energy or anything like that. Like I feel fine. It's just my voice is suffering. So anyway, I went on a little tangent there, but that was good. All right, you guys. So if there's no questions, like I said, I'm putting Ashlyn in the winner's circle with Alessia in second, Jessica in third, and Lucia in fourth. That's my top 4, and we'll see how it plays out this weekend. And I'll be there. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to end out my YouTube first. Here we go. And Instagram.